Bro. 25, no, 2025. They say it's 2025. But yeah, so you feeling good energy, good livelihood, good vibes. How long you got left off, shall we say?
Man, I'm still, shit. Hopefully, I don't got to go back to that motherfucker.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel that 1,000,000%. For real, for real. Honestly. Hey, did you enrolled in a Series 63 course or what?
No, them were some books I found.
Okay.
I
Okay,
had found.
cool.
You
All
said
right,
what?
yeah. I said that's cool because I saw the information. I'm like, okay, did you enroll or whatnot? It's all good though. It's all love, man. We got a lot of ways to get into it. The information is accessible, the books are available, the knowledge is there. The people need jobs all the time. That's one big thing to realize too. You can own a hospital and not be a doctor. You can own a law firm and not be a lawyer because the people need jobs everywhere.
So facts.
So shit. What we're gonna get into the goal is to literally kind of like do a brainstorming session. Me talk about and just go over two ways that shucks. I be going about discharging things real simple, and then I wanted to hear from you on like the 1099 situation. How you feel about that right now? What's your understanding? Not necessarily experience, because knowledge. I value knowledge and wisdom too. It's just as knowledge is just as valuable as wisdom, honestly. Because sometimes you can learn from other people's experiences. You don't need to have to go through it. To me, so it's just like let's just chop it up and see the various ways. And I'm doing it because even though I perceive I got a strategy that's all 100%, I still want to just chop it up and see if we can add something or take something away or what would be most efficient. Period. You feel me? So that's kind of what this conversation is about. And I know you're studying things. I'm studying some things, implementing some things on both sides too. But how would you like to go about it? Since it's two topics, two ways, two things I want to bring to the table, and it's just going to be pretty specific yet simple concepts. Maybe I could bring up one, then we could go into the 1099 conversations with you, then we could get into the third one. Just for sake of time, it shouldn't take too long either.
Right.
All right, how that sound?
Yeah, no, it sounds good. Go ahead.
Cool, cool. So the first thing is basically just going over the concept of accounting and what's actually happening when something gets paid for versus what happens when something gets offset and discharged. What's really happening? Just the concept being understood, and then just the two different methods, or just say ways that the word payment has been looked at in life. Right. So let's just talk about that real simple. In simple terms. So payment, typically a commodity and or asset being exchanged for an asset in a bartering system is what created exchange, period. So the whole exchange world, exchanging a product for service or a service for a service, a product for product, or a product for cash, or a service for cash, or whatever the transaction is, transactions has occurred started from bartering, just the need to have something that somebody else have, and somebody else got something that you willing to accept for. So they willing to accept something you have for something that they have. So in that, it's just an asset for asset or commodity for commodity. And then as history evolved, we noticed, just based on history, that instruments began to play a purpose. Instruments that represent the asset became creating, and then also instruments that represent value got created. So there's two different types of instruments. So the instrument that represents An asset is like ownership documents. So a deed or certificate of ownership. These things became in existence to evidence the asset. So instead of just having grains, you'll have a certificate of grains, right? Or instead of just having barley, you got a certificate of grain or barley. And it's just showing how much barley you got, certifying that you own that, right? Or a house, right? Instead of just having a house, now you can have a deed. It's just showing you that you own that house. And it's the same for anything. A copyright. This is a document showing that you got the right to copy intellectual property, right? So these documents just showing ownership of an asset. And then there's documents or instruments that show value itself. So you can have a document that shows as the ownership of an asset. It could be a house. It could be any asset you could think of. In our world, Love Nation world, we deal with all assets from the perspective of the money machine, and the money machine has a way of evaluating galactical, digital, physical, and spiritual assets. So it's really galactical, spiritual, digital, and physical. That's the way we categorize all assets known and unknown, either in the galactical, if it unknown is in the galactical category, and if it's in the its purest elemental form is in the galactical category, right? Then you get spiritual category, right? When you're talking about different energies and elements that are spiritual in nature, that have a realization either through the because of the creation power of a man's mind or through their actual power. What we're talking about here is simply assets and value. So once you have these assets documented, whether galactical, spiritual, digital, or physical, that's the certificate of ownership or document of ownership. Even a person. Person is any individual or entity that's created. You can consider yourself a certain type of entity. You can be a multidimensional entity. You can document your existence on every dimension that you can perceive if you so want to. Long story short, the document that's evidencing the asset is separate from the document that's evidencing the value. So once you have a document that's evidencing the value, that is what you call a valuable monetary instrument. It either is a negotiable instrument or a non-negotiable instrument or some form of currency, literally. So let's just think about it. You have some contracts that are intertwined, meaning it could be a contract that evidences the ownership and it can show the value. So it's literally a negotiable instrument and is in a form in the aspect that it has a value on it, and it's also a document of ownership, which could be called like a stock or certificate of some sort, because it's showing the evidence of ownership. Right now, that's important when you're thinking about what's happening with payments and offsets, because all that's happening is this. In order to cater to the need to exchange products and or services, right? Documents of value, things that evidence the value, the amount of an asset, right? Those documents become capable of being exchanged to show who owes who paid who what. It's just a measurement of the value of the asset. It's a measurement of the value of the asset and or a measurement of what is owed to somebody for providing that asset to someone. The asset could be a service or product in the commerce world. So what's happening? You are accounting for value. That's all that payment is and or set-offs or discharge is. It's the accounting process of value. That's what that process is. It's not necessarily accounting for assets. It just so happens that when you're transferring the value of an asset, it could be a negotiable instrument or a value exchange. Now, that's in its general sense. What's happening is value is being transacted in different accounts. What is an account? We just gonna keep it simple. I know you know these things. Yeah, account is anything that's documenting and measuring anything. Any set of books, any PDF, or it used to be just physical books, any PDF, any file, any organized data set that is showing evidence of a relationship. That's what an account is.
Right.
So I'm having a relationship with, say, the person who provides me my key, period. Literally, somebody I go to make keys, for instance. So in my accounting book, see, accounting is very important because all things can be accounted for. And once you know that all things can be accounted for, then all things can have some type of value. All things have some type of value. All things can be accounted for, and all things do have some type of value. Those are the two magical facts of money. If you understand that, you really can be a magician. It's very simple. All
Right.
things can be accounted for, and all things have some type of value. Now, when you get deep into the things, what type of things are there? Again, we put them in four categories: galactical, spiritual, digital, and physical. Yet in this world, you have all different types of categories of industries, categories of assets, different categories of different things, right? And then they can all have value. And that's another matrix of the world where the process of creating the value or documenting the value or assessing the value, the valuation matrices, who can assess value, who has the authority to assess value, knowing that is very powerful. Different accounting procedures, accounting methodologies, and even the fact that the value is in the eye of the beholder at all times. And anytime you have a private agreement, value exchange is value exchange. So value can be evidenced by the fact that it was accepted for value. These are principles, and they may seem theoretical, yet these theoretical, cosmic, mathematical type of principles is the foundation of this payments and these offsets. So let's get back to accounts, because you must have an account in order to measure value, because that's what it's about. Is measuring the value of things. You want to measure the value of the assets, and you want to measure the value of human capital, like what actual actions occurred, like time in a meeting. The more you measure, the more value you actually have. You're going to notice as a money magician, if you want to be such a thing. The more you're capable of measuring, the more money you're capable of literally, seems like creating, like getting water out of thin air. There's machines that do that because the water's already there. And it's the same about the money machine. We allow people to create money out of thin air, all types of money in all forms, all currencies. And the point is because it's already there. It's all about you being able to assess it, document it, account for it, measure it, register it, because those are the terms that's actually at play before you can make a payment or offset. And if you understand the things that's happening before the payment or the offset, you can master the payment and the offset. Okay, so now, again, there's different types of accounts based on the thing and the relationship, the reason you're using the thing. For instance, I got construction accounts with different vendors. You may got a key account. You got bank accounts. You got trust accounts, security accounts. In each account, you might have sub accounts. Like you might have an account with your mother, for instance. And you may say, okay, I have an account for all the times I clean up for her. And you can just be measuring the time. You don't have to measure the money, because the money is a valuation of how valuable is the time. Is a measurement, and it can come up from your mind, her mind. These are general principles. But physically, let's get to the specifics, just to get specific real quick. What's going on? So, in this world, typically you got a product or a service that you want. In order to obtain that product or service, you must present a method of payment or a negotiable instrument, a form of payment. And all that payment is, and or a form of value is your ability to provide payment and or your ability to offset a debt is equal to your ability of documenting value. That's the truth behind all the processes. If you are incapable of documenting value, you're going to be fumbling. Right. You might be doing it right, but you may be missing the boat. Once you realize that anything you ever use to make a payment or offset a debt, it had to come from your ability of accounting for value. So let's talk about what happens. Say you want that house, you want that car. You want to account for some value. You either did an application, which is a contract, which you're going to read is a negotiable instrument. So one form of payment, and I'm going to wrap up my first. That was a big ass introduction. Now I'm going to go into what is the first method? It's basically presenting negotiable instruments. All throughout the world, all throughout, and you can make this as simple or as complicated as you want. It can get very complicated if you perceive the person who receives it has to respond a certain way. But it can be very simple if you realize what you have to do is simply what you have to do to present the negotiable instrument, and then you have a capability of enforcing it. What do I mean by that? Sometimes people are going to respond like, yeah, you paid me, good job, great. And they're going to provide you with all the evidence. Sometimes people may say you didn't pay them. Sometimes people may act like they didn't get anything, right? And because of that, a lot of people typically alter their response, but that's not what you should do. Don't judge your efficiency based on the reaction of the person receiving the instrument. Base your efficiency based upon the laws that you're utilizing and you're upholding when you're enforcing your instrument, when you're presenting the instrument. And let's talk about that. Because the number one way you can be successful in any country, in any state, is to look at the locality and literally Google. If you're in Illinois, Google Illinois negotiable instrument law. If you're in Burma or Thailand, Taiwan negotiable instrument law. Trust me, there's one. And in Illinois, you're going to see the negotiable instruments code. And I'm not dropping videos about this now because we did that. But the point is, you're going to see a code actually pop up where it's going to talk about negotiable instruments. And all it's going to tell you there, this is public information. It's going to tell you in your state, when doing business in your state, this is the type of document, either digital document now or physical document, that you have to present, meaning give to someone in order to offset a debt or to discharge a liability, right? And that's another way of saying payment. The only reason we don't always use the term payment is because the original word payment meant providing a commodity and or a tangible asset of mechanical value in exchange for something. And since negotiable instruments and monetary instruments do not qualify as commodities and as something of tangible utility in daily life, it doesn't always qualify as payments. But in every state of the United States of America and throughout every country, I'm not giving you the step-by-step process here, but I'm gonna tell you, if you're of the 7th grade education capability of Googling the name of your state and negotiable instruments, you feel me? Please, the law's gonna pop up. It's going to tell you the 4 or 5 things that have to be on the instrument for it to be lawful. It's also going to show you how you have to send it. Just follow the script, y'all. That way you don't have to say somebody led you astray or somebody not teaching you the right way or they holding the information back. Take that information. That's what we know. So that's one thing I do. And we can do that for anybody in the group. Literally, it's taking about 5 minutes max to discharge, to give them the documents that they need to discharge any debt. And that's for you and anybody, right? In our group, Love Nation, the way we roll, you can just, if you're on the phone with us at that time, it's about having the moment. Once you got the moment, you can say, okay, we got a Department of Treasury. You really can hit us up at this point. Hit us up. Who you got to pay? Bow. How much? Bow. You already got a trust if you with us. And we put the name of your trust there and we get you the document within fucking immediately. That's one way of guarantee. Now, I might as well just say the second way because it's the same thing. The second thing is basically utilizing in every country, they have a Department of Treasury. Every country has a Department of Treasury. And that department handles those documents for you. It's literally, so the second way is you can draft up your instrument, but to the Department of Treasury. Every Department of Treasury, they have a offset and remittance, a remittance department. So even with the IRS manual, you can look at the IRS manual with remittance, and I can show you in the group, I'll show you the specific section. This is more so a conversation of brainstorming, not legal documents. You feel me? Because we can get into that. But you'll see the IRS manual for remittance. It literally gives you every specific type of instrument that they accept for payments. And then it also tells you exactly how you have to put it. And it tells you
Right.
what they do not accept. It's right there in the IRS manual for remittances. And I'm saying these two things as far as the negotiable instrument goes and how you can Google your state and just look at the negotiable instrument code. And I'm saying this about the IRS remittance process because this is public information. And our people have to be able to accept the information as proof instead of looking for receipts. Because since people are only looking for receipts, they're getting got by gurus when you are the guru.
Right. Yeah.
So the goal is to give you the source of information that you must follow. You can Google IRS remittance process, and it'll show you physical remittances. This is the specific, and I'll give you the manual code. I got it. But this ain't for that right now.
Right. I was saying you good.
This has to tell you that at the end of the day, what happens is our two methods of negotiating and discharging the debts is that simple. We look at the state law, it tells you who to send it to, and it tells you what the law is. We put that on the instrument and we give it to you to go ahead and present to the people that need. If they act like that didn't happen, you got a case against them or whatever, but it's discharged. In every state law, it shows you what is a discharge. A discharge is when you offset a debt and they disrespect it. It's when they do not honor it or they honor it. See, because you can honor it by silent acquiescence. It's called tacit acquiescence, meaning they do nothing. That's them tacitly acquiescing to it. That's basically them saying you doing what you good. You got the okay, debt discharge.
Right.
Now, second thing is if they don't act like they try to come back with some shit, you got your evidence for whenever court happens that you're good. Plus, our people, all assets and all accounts are in trust. So you got that protection that they can't come take anything already anyway. Yet to discharge it, that's all we do. We just give them an instrument to offset it in your account, in our accounts, in our books. We would show we sent them the instrument, so our book is balanced. We balance our own books. Don't worry about they fucking books. That's the point. See, people getting got by gurus. If you think I'm a guru, I'm a guru. That's the power of guruism. It's not about me. It's about the person thinking you a guru. I'm telling you, you can Google the law, read that bitch, and do it. I'm also telling you, we don't provide a service to people who just want to get served. Meaning, pay the service, we'll get it. But we're not the gurus. But we definitely gonna get this fucking shit together. Because we need to evolve from these conversations to food, water, shelter, clothing, housing, safety, defense systems, and shit like that. So the second way is literally to get the instrument and to issue it to the Department of Treasury of the country in accordance with they IRS, the Internal Revenue Manual on remittance processes. And you can Google that too. If you want the intel, we can provide that later. Now we finna get into the third, which is a way and or method and or just evidence, because it's dealing with the IRS too. Yet it's a way you can manually administer that discharge. And I perceive it has to do with 1099. My man gonna bring that up. I haven't utilized this process, but I know a little bit of something, and I got information from people that know a lot of bit of something. But even if you've done anything, you know a lot of bit of something in this world. So let me know, Kendall, what you know about the 1099 process from your knowledge, your wisdom, and your research.
Yeah, basically what I've been researching, basically what I've been researching is 1099As and 1099Cs.
Okay.
The best way to do it is the most safe way to do it is have a trust and discharge everything through a trust.
Yep. Everything starts with the trust, even though in their process. Yep.
I done heard people getting jammed up with them 1099As, but I haven't heard nobody getting jammed up with them Cs. So the 1099As.
Can you explain what the 1099A do versus what the C do?
The 1099A, it either you acquire it, the debt, or you abandon the debt. Now, with the 1099A, you throw a 1099A, you're either acquiring it or abandoning it, and you have to know how to properly put things. Who is the creditor? Who is the debtor?
So in what situation? I know you just let me talk, man.
Man,
It was I know. In what
no, you good. You
situation?
good.
In what situation do you abandon something versus say you need to acquire something versus abandoning an asset?
Go put this. Go put this up. Hold on. Give me a minute. Go put it up.
It's all good. Because what I'm wondering is, okay, so like say we do a loan application, right, for a car or house, and we gave them that application. Is it the 1099A that I'll do so I can acquire the value of that
If
security?
you want that debt, be able to control that debt, get a QSIP number on that debt, balance the books, get your file taxes on that debt, you acquire it. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you basically, so when you do the applications or anything and you give it to them, that's you originally issuing it basically,
Yeah.
and you giving it to them.
But
And
this is
now
really IRS. You send these forms to the IRS. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I hear you good. So you give those forms, you do the 1099 to the IRS. Online, you can do them too, right?
Yeah. They got a 1099online.com. Send as many forms as you want. Now, the 1099Cs, if you just really want to just boom, cancel that debt.
Okay, so like say you owe somebody something, you say, fuck it, I don't owe you no more.
Cancel that debt, and then to my knowledge, you fill out if you want, you can file taxes on that too. You know what I mean? Because we don't owe them, period. We don't owe them regardless. We don't owe them regardless. Like, it's not even just like 1099C, oh, I don't want to pay y'all, I'm gonna cancel it. We don't owe them regardless. But this is officially letting them know that I don't owe you. You send that the debtor, the 1099C, well, the creditor, and you send it to the IRS. You send a copy to the people that say that you owe them, and then you send the 1099C to the IRS so you can file a 1040V, to my knowledge. I think it's like a 1040V. So you get that tax return on that debt.
Oh, so it's a voucher. So it's a voucher.
Yeah.
1099B. So you do a voucher. Okay, so say I owe my light bill, or fuck it, I owe the light bill.
Right.
Say I owe my band. I do a 1099C, cancel that debt on the band, and then I could do a 1099V on that $1,000. Yeah, basically. But basically that's gonna cancel it out. We know that. We know that because we on the canceling out part. We know that's gonna cancel the debt out. Period.
Right.
Just by itself, just a C.
Yeah, the C is gonna knock it off. They can't do nothing with it.
Because so they can't do nothing with it now. And then you do the A to acquire the original security you gave to them.
No. Once you do 1099C, you can't, that 1099A over with. You cancel that debt. It's over with. You got to file that 1040 or 1040V or 1041. It was one of them forms where you have to file to get that. To claim. Okay. Now, if you want to play with it, you do the 1099A, but it's best to do that with a trust because you're playing with it. Now you're going into the barter system. Now you fucking with the SEC. Now you register. You get your own your own QSIP number to register that own debt and throw that shit in a hedge fund or some shit. That's what the 1099A.
And so you can by registering your debt. So say you got a mortgage.
Yeah.
And you do 1099A on it. Now you could turn that into a security. You're acquiring the original documents.
To my knowledge.
I feel you. This is accounting. Now this is accounting that you're acquiring. You're documenting the fact that's my original security they got. You feel me? That's mine. I acquire it. I'm acquiring it even though it's in their possession. And if you want to cancel that thing out, the debt, you do the C. So I canceled the debt out that they claim I have, but I acquired the asset.
No. The A, the 1099A lets you acquire the asset.
Yes. And then the C, you canceling the debt.
The C is just canceling that off totally. You not Ain't no more trading on that motherfucker. Ain't no more hedge funds. Ain't no throwing that motherfucker in a
Oh,
firm.
so once you do the C, ain't nothing shaking.
It's cutting that shit off. You 1040 that motherfucker, and you get that tax refund back. 1099A if you want to play with it. Make your own hedge fund. Collect all your.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see you saying do the 1099. Basically, do a 1041 or 1040V, and you're gonna be able to claim whatever you canceled. All the debt you canceled is basically some type of credit for you.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
We gotta find out exactly what type of credit that is, because okay, so all the cancellation of debt is some type of credit for you to claim on a refund.
Yeah. Now, what they do, like dealerships, mortgages, blah blah blah. Man. Hello. Can you go watch TV? Paw Patrol. Okay. Now, 1099A. What they do is you go to the dealership, get a mortgage, whatever. Behind our backs, they fill out a 1099A and say we abandoned the property, we abandoned the debt. So if it's abandoned, it's still floating out there. Anybody could grab it, anybody could sell it, anybody could do what they do with the debt because we abandoned it. You know what I mean? So now they could acquire it. They do 2 1099s, A's on that motherfucker. They say we abandoned it, and now they acquire it. So now they selling the debt to the hedge funds and doing that. That's what the 1099A.
Because the owner of a debt is the creditor, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and who owns the debt is the creditor.
So what they do is they say, oh, y'all abandoned this debt and y'all gotta pay a month for this. So it's like it's real criminal, man.
I feel you what you're saying. I just want to say I feel you 1,000,000%. This is okay. I realize that I have to have a line just in life, right? And the line is for a few reasons. The line is for longevity, A. It's also for just longevity, I'll say. My line is hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Meaning, whatever anybody's intention is or was, it ain't mine. I don't hear it, I don't see it, I don't know it.
Right.
You know, very small world I'm living in right now. And it's the world that we're creating. Very small world. Very small one. That's a way where I perceive that principle. Let's just think about it. Why? Because we have to prepare for our greatness, right? And being great, sometimes you know not what you don't know until you realize you didn't know it. And I'm sure right now there are things I don't know that I don't know. A. And then B, I would say I'm certain that there are enemies that I don't want to have right now as my systems ain't ready for that shit. You feel me? And my people and my family or my mama, I'm too easily gettable from the right motherfuckers. It's too wide open right now. And that's a true fact that I simply think of. Not from the wrong, everybody ain't thinking like that. But because of that, I think the one thing we gonna do at Love Nation, bro, we gonna be so swift and efficient because we ain't even hearing even if we hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Because I'm telling you, from what I'm realizing, it's like shit. Regardless, we gotta do what we gotta do. And at the time when we gotta go against whoever we gotta go against, it's gonna be like a martial art battle, not like a World War III. More so like, yeah, we had to do what we had to do, bow wow gracefully after we win, and we keep it pushing. We respectful on the battlefield, basically, by maintaining silence. I'm not gonna be, and I'm saying this, but what I'm really trying to say in my smallest words, bro, I fucks with you. I got the energy. I know what's up. At this time, though, because it's so real, we gonna separate ourselves from the fake by not even acting like we own that. Or like, because there's so many actors. You feel me?
Yeah.
We just gonna, no, we like this with it. I don't look. I know that this process helps our families like this. That's our reason for everything. This can benefit our families if we
Right.
utilize things like this. And I'm saying that because it's gonna help us even on our verbals, even help us distract, like not have certain conversations pop up in the group. This is because the group ain't happening. It's a seed. You feel me? And I fucks with you 1,000,000%. That's why I'll put a lot of energy on this, even though I'm just talking like, you feel me? Because it's a
Yeah.
small, bro. It's a very small thing that you're not wrong at. You're not wrong. We
Yeah.
can go there,
Yeah.
but not but and the power that I see we have and we can garner by separating ourselves from everybody who talk like that, we just gonna be doing shit and it's done and it's just that simple. Done, simple, done, simple, done, simple.
Thanks.
And leave the gossip and the drama and that for that, because if ever it's wartime for us, they need to not know it was wartime. And that shit is
Exactly.
over and done with. And we still just like simple. All they see is us. They ain't even see we was at war. They ain't even see we didn't slaughter the whole fucking villages. And we came back and we good. We all they saw is this is,
Right.
they ain't even hear it. They ain't even hear us say shit on none of these things, or want no text or no types about no possible drama. Because we don't
Right.
even hear no evil, see people speak no evil. So
For
that's
sure.
why it's like this right now for most motherfuckers. They ain't gonna be able to catch the wave, bro.
Hey. What'd you say? Hey.
Hey, they ain't gonna be able to catch the wave, bro. So, but that's good. That's great. So right now, what I want to do is this. I want us,
You sleepy?
I want us to now, since we know what we know, I will actually ask you this. I would say this. I would say, yes, I have used my negotiable instruments. Yes, I am utilizing them. Yes, I'm in some processes where I have to enforce. And yes, some people had just clear sailings with absolutely no responses and everything happened smooth. So I'm in high stakes enforcement to absolutely no pressure back experiences, but only a handful of experiences. At the same time, we know what we know, so we good. When it
Right.
comes to your situation, I perceive you've experienced something and are ready to experience more. What would you say?
I had received the denial. So I'm going for my vehicle. So I'm going through the process of showing their ass, like, all right, now that I got more information, because I'm new to this information.
Yeah,
I'm talking
facts.
about like preschool. Like,
Mm.
I'm new to this, but I finally got confident enough to go to college with this now.
Yeah,
So I can
yeah.
graduate college now. So now it's like,
Facts.
all right. So now I know how to rebut and show y'all, like, stop playing with me, because I know what I'm talking about. And if y'all don't want to owe me $100 million, settle out for this. For just, you know what I mean? So
Facts. So that's the truth. So now that's that you talking about the enforcement and complaint processes and stuff. So
yeah,
that's the next level that we're gonna start talking about. Because I have, for instance, if we look at all of the situations that say you're facing, I'm facing, some other people may be facing, we just look at them. What is in enforcement phases right now? And we just looked at the projects we have. We have enough projects with examples. Trust me.
yeah,
People with
yeah,
house cars. I know I got some stuff with the bank. I mean, hey, if it's, I don't want to say. I mean, yeah. You read the Uniform Commercial Code of any state and type up deposit, the law of deposits. That's all I'm gonna say. Just like the negotiable instruments,
yeah,
there's laws on deposit and what are lawful methods of deposit. So, we doing some things there just to enforce the rights of our own private instruments. And then once we have our own personal case laws established, then we got our own histories of victories, and the floodgates shall open.
yeah.
So So yeah, I think this was good enough for now. But what we want to do the next step is, it's about looking at our case studies. It's about looking at situations where we have used the discharge instruments, how it worked out. Looking at situations where we're currently in complaint mode with the enforcement of some negotiable instruments, and then also looking at the 1099A. I know I've done some 1099A, but not when it comes to ACs. I've done something else. But yeah, we can look at the 1099A situations. I know people who are in situations who don't mind going for it, and then you're going at it. So let's start looking at the specific cases and
It's this,
like classroom setting to knock
yeah,
those out.
it's this. I came across this information. I meant to pull it up. I'm gonna have it up for the class, but it's before we even fill out 1099s or try to get the debt discharged. We send them a few letters about shit they already did. Like we get a tax assessment. Anything they did behind our back, we send them a letter telling them to send that to us, to get that to us. Go ahead, show us them 1099s that y'all feel behind our back, and you know what I mean, them 1040s and stuff, and get that first. We get that first, see what they did behind our back, and then we attack it. Because it's freedom of information. They can't lie and say they didn't do it, because then we
You request that information directly from the companies or through the IRS?
Both. We send them they letters, and then, or before the IRS, we send them the form, the IRS form, and then we send them that same thing, all in the same. We tell the IRS, hey, what you got under our name, and then we tell the companies, hey, go ahead, send us that. We know you got some. Go ahead, send us that. And I got the templates. For all that.
So there's a form to request your information in regards to a specific company from the IRS.
From the IRS.
That's what's up. Yeah. That's what's up. So, oh man. So they do the assessment for you, the audit for you, basically.
Yes. That's what the IRS is. They all that. Yeah, the IRS is our best friend.
That's crazy. That's beautiful. Well, we need to get that done. We definitely need to get that done. You brought this up because next conversation, I think we can, because we're gonna keep this private too. Man, I got a situation. We got some situations that we can bring and deal with appropriately. Yeah. But this was good for now. I know you and right now in your mind, you probably got a list of shit that you know you can come up with now to better present this information or to show the next steps. Maybe an example that you're working on. I also can get a couple examples from people if we want to work on them. Like if we want to do somebody build or something like that, or even something I'm dealing with. I don't know. Let's just do it. Let's just get a few internal group examples and just go for them. 1099, B they asses, 1099, C they asses, and see what it be up. You feel me?
Right. Yeah. No, facts. But man, look, it's powerful information, bro. I'm telling you, like, it's finna, like, once the ball start rolling, it's gonna be like a tumbleweed full of just freedom, financial freedom. Like, for sure.
And then what I'm seeing too is like the account statements that you get. Like I think it's the same process, but I have to really see how they claiming this shit. I have to see what is the line item and how they're claiming these as refund checks. But the all the money that you deposit in your account, on the 1041V.
You gotta what you mean your account? Your bank account or just your account?
Man. Bank accounts and all those charge the debt cancellations collectively.
Them bank accounts, you gotta POA every bank. POA the banks.
Now, if you do a POA, because I've done a POA to a bank and they act like that shit wasn't real, where we gotta go get on their ass with some complaints?
They might have their own form. That's how they get you too. You can't use no IRS form with like Chase. Chase got their own.
Or your own private form. You gotta get their form.
And you gotta jump through all type of hoops to get it. You feel me? That's how they do with you. But banks like US Bank, they're more compliant with this transferring securities. They know what's going on. They ain't tripping. You got a negotiable instrument. As long as your bank set up properly, give us that negotiable instrument. Give us that coupon. Give us that. But Chase,
So,
you already know.
So you saying once you get the POA established, then you can start to tell, okay, because you're telling them what to do with with securities. Because if you make deposits, they got deposit. Evidence of deposit is an investment. That credit ain't the actual interest.
You're
credit
the lender. We are the lenders.
Yeah, so the credit that they deposit, that's just accounting. That ain't really the interest or the security.
Right.
That's the game they play. That's just digital money. It's good money, but it's just digital money. It's accounting. It's literally your accounting ledger. That's what the bank account is. It's just the accounting ledger part. It ain't the real life part. So in real life, you made a deposit and they invested it because that's what banks do. So you the investor, you're the creditor. So yeah, the document to fill out to get that fucking money back. You invested in the ass. You need that.
Yep.
That's the document we need.
You really go through the FDIC. The FDIC gonna regulate it. You send them like, hey, I'm a lender to this bank, and I don't lend them all this money. You go to earlywarning.com. You go to earlywarning.com. You can pull up everything, all your bank accounts from over the years. Earlywarning.com. Get your bank report. They're gonna send you stuff back when you was 18. You hit the FDIC. If the banks don't want to give you no POA form, all right, go through the FDIC and get that insurance money. Because
now I was looking for that. So do you have to claim ownership of the accounts with the FDIC? There's a specific form for that. You got access to that form?
It's on the website.
I'm
FDIC
sure it is on
website.
their website, but I need to find that form. So that's a form we need to find. I need to find out to claim ownership of the actual accounts. Okay, and we need to find out. Okay, this is good information. So we get the POAs.
2848. You 2848. The banks besides
that's the power of attorney. So we get do the 2848 to the IRS. Get the POAs on the banks. Bow. Then put the claim through. I guess you would do the 1099A, 1099 acquisition, right? Because you made a deposit. You can 1099A the assets, right?
Yeah.
You want to acquire the security interest for your securities, 1099A assets.
Yeah, but look, it might be the 2848 or the Form 56.
Form 56 is giving so Form 2848 is giving the IRS notice of your power of attorney.
Yeah.
Form 56 is giving somebody fiduciary authority. So you probably gonna get an IRS fiduciary authority to do some shit for you, or the Treasury's the authority to do some shit for you.
Yeah.
You gonna give the bank? Yeah, you want to give the bank the authority to transfer that asset to you if they got it.
And let them know. Yeah, and let them know that you own this motherfucker. Yeah.
To give you that shit back. That's it. But you ain't giving them the 1048, 28, no power of attorney again. Okay, so bow. I get that. I'm perceiving, okay. So if they just went on and did it, you don't have to do a 1099A. So if they went on and did it and they transfer your security to your security account or something, right?
No, have to, because they're on it. Now they're being able to, you have to take control over it. But I never heard about the 1099As with the bank deposits. I haven't heard about that.
I haven't heard it either, but I'm thinking logically.
A security is a security. A security is a security.
I like logic when it comes to their laws. When it comes to their laws.
So
that's how they think it. It's like a machine.
Yeah.
So if that's how we put it in the system, let the IRS know, hey, look, man, this is my bank statements. And then I can look at the 10K for the bank and show that deposits are investments. Bow. So here I show, hey, deposits are investments, IRS. Here goes the evidence of all my divestments. So therefore, I'm acquiring all that the securities that they wouldn't have did. And then I tell the IRS, do some accounting for me. Find out how much that shit worth for, nigga.
No, facts.
You feel
Facts.
me? Get an IRS 1099, give them 2848 power of attorney limited to go help me out because the brother needs some help.
Yeah. Hey. No,
Oh,
look.
I say let's play this. Let's do that. Let's run this play. I want to run this one for the 2024 taxes. I did a play for the 2023 taxes, which is still in operation. It was an interesting play. I like this one. I say let's do it. And let's do a little bit more. I think we there, but let's just look at the forms. Let's look at the 1041 forms, the 1041 Vs, like you saying. Let's look at those forms to find out where the line items would be to do the claim on the taxes.
Man, look, we come back. Man, look, it should by the time we finish this, money should be coming like at least 3 ways from one bank account. From one bank account, money should be coming at least 3 ways. That's from the bank. That's from the bank, that FDIC insurance, they insured $250,000, and from the IRS.
That's for every transaction, or for every?
No, I don't know about that. That might be for one count.
I think it's per account. Okay, I think it's per transaction.
Per account. Yeah.
Okay.
But you still gonna get all that money you deposited. Get that back.
Hold on, they automatically get that money when an account gets started?
We get that back. Not from the FDIC. We get that shit back from the bank. Times 2,
the bank
times 3. Yeah. Because what they do is we give them $100. They borrow $1,000. They make $1,000 off $100.
Facts. Federal, they have the right to, yeah, they got the borrowing power.
That's supposed to be ours. With individual banks.
All of it supposed to be ours? All of it?
Huh?
All of it supposed to be ours? How they make money?
Hey, that's my problem. I don't know. I just know y'all stole.
Transfer fees. This is how I think they make money. Now I'm thinking I get it. You know, because the banks are basically Federal Reserve agents. You know, because they basically little branches of the Federal Reserve. That's all they are. You got the Federal Reserve, and then they're all just they're just like little pieces of the Federal Reserve, but they handle the retail operations with the public instead of like the high-end executive operations. That's how I look at it. Now, what the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah. When you look at Federal Reserve fees, you can look and see what the Federal Reserve charge for and how much they charge. I think that's literally what the real fees of the banks should be.
How they make money is these deposits become abandoned. They're abandoned.
They make money right now from scheming. I get it. They make money right now from the scam.
Yeah.
But the true way that their companies are set up to make money is like Federal Reserve. You can look at the Federal Reserve, all of their fees. They got fees for transactions, fees for checks, printing. Just these fees. That's how just the fees. But they don't supposed to be getting the investment proceeds.
They do, because it's abandoned, because we abandoned them. We don't know about them. So
once we take them back and we still need them to do that, then they're transfer agents. And do we got to do a deal with them? Just like a regular transfer agent, you get 20% of the securities you sell, like a regular offering.
If that's the contract, if that's what you put in the security agreement.
Then basically, we got to create a new security agreement and let them know how we breaking bread with them now, according to the reality of the situation.
But we have to do it through our trust. A trust can only interact with a trust. They can't fuck with us citizens or slaves.
I'm happy you brought this up, man. I want to do another. I'm gonna do some private conversations where after we do it, we can see, do we want to share it? You feel me? But there's the specific situation with the bank I want to go over in detail with you, because you breaking this shit down here, and I'm knowing the documents I sent to him and the situation we in now with him. It's like, man, we probably could just crack this right wide open. It's a lot of good stuff going on. I can say that.
Hey, we could chop it up tomorrow, or we could chop it up after the meeting tonight. Let's do it, man.
Well, we could definitely chop it up. We could keep it going. Because I could just press stop and start another one. and then we can choose if I'm gonna record it regardless. And
No,
we can
for
choose
sure.
if we're gonna release it or not later. But this, y'all, we're gonna wrap this one up. This was the 3 overviews. This is a brainstorming session of negotiable instruments.
Yeah.
Hope y'all got some keys to success.
Major keys.
Major keys. I appreciate you, Kendall. I mean, y'all waking for dropping these jewels on them.
For sure.
What we got going on. I'm gonna reach out to you, man, for the next session. All right.
I bet, man.
Yeah, peace.
For sure. Peace.